Welcome to the FreeED course. My name is Kristóf Fenyvesi. I work in the University of Jyväskylä in the Finnish Institute for Educational Research. This session is going to be about hands-on STEAM workshops in hybrid learning environments, and I really hope that you will enjoy and you will find it useful. In our research group at the Finnish Institute for Educational Research, we are examining and assessing innovative learning environments. When we think about learning environments, we focus also the physical environments of learning, the physical components of learning, but also the mental aspects of the learning process. And of course, this also includes using various devices and also providing online and hybrid mixed blended environments of learning. And in this session, I would like to introduce some approaches concerning this topic. First of all, I would like to talk a little bit about the STEAM approach. So our first question, our first unit is about what is STEAM. STEAM means the integration between subjects of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. This is STEAM. This is what the STEAM acronym means. So science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, and how we can combine these areas. You can see on this slide several activities, several events where we have these STEAM activities, these hands-on STEAM activities taking place in various places, in various environments. So the STEAM integration can take place on any educational levels, in any educational settings. And also, it doesn't mean that every single subject needs to be considered at the same time. According to the learning goals, the focus of learning can move between these different perspectives, and the emphasis is on how we combine these perspectives, how we connect these perspectives with each other. As we see, as we know, STEAM education can be realized by a single teacher, but in many cases, as it includes a lot of areas, a lot of different areas, it's a collaborative pedagogical endeavor, which can involve several different didactic methods, and also it can consider different learning styles, different environments, different toolkits, different devices, and various teaching aids. After all, STEAM is a tool, STEAM as an approach to boost engagement, motivation, and induce collaborative creativities for the students and also for the teachers. And after all, it's supposed to contribute to the well-being of teachers and students during the learning process. In the next unit, I would like to talk about that how these STEAM activities might take place in a hybrid setting where there is also online mediums and online environments are taking place in these activities, and many times these are providing the environment, the space for these activities. So we will discuss this interesting paradox between the high technology, high level technological environment, and also the high level personalized connection in the learning process. How these two can be combined? Is it possible to find an optimal way to combine these approaches? As you can see on these slides, these STEAM events here involve movement, and also it depends on personal connections, community experiences. So this is what we mean by the high touch, which everything which is involving personal attention and personal connections. That's what we call with this definition, this word high touch. Actually, this concept was coined by John Naisbitt in response to the word high tech. Because high tech, as it's opposed to high touch, is when customers don't need human interaction to perform activities. This is what we experience with many automatized systems when we are boarding into a flight or when we are doing some online banking. So many activities are possible today without human interaction. So this is what is many times offered in the digital environments. However, the education, the learning process is involving, and is a very important component of the learning process is personal attention. So the high touch aspect. So how we can combine these two in, for example, in a hybrid environment. In the next unit, we will talk about various online and hybrid challenges, what we can face in the process of online and hybrid education. So among the course materials, you will find a very interesting book. It's actually a vision book. It's called A Flexible Framework for Hybrid Lower Secondary Education. You can freely access and download this material on this link, which is presented on the screen, and you will find this course material also included in this webinar. In the book, I would like to call your attention especially to two different chapters. One of the chapter is called Creative Engagement in Online and Hybrid Teachers Professional Development Programs. This we wrote together with my Indonesian colleague, Dr. Farida Nurhashana, and we tried to provide an insight how to organize different workshops and different events for teachers who wanted to progress, to develop their skills, and how to organize these events in a hybrid environment. Actually, many of the content probably also useful when you work with children as in your everyday work as a teacher. And another interesting article is wrote with my Finnish and Indian colleagues. This is about how we converted a physical conference into an online and into a hybrid event. So you can check out these resources. But to give some insight, I also call the most interesting points here. So the COVID-19 pandemic affected all areas of education, as we experienced as well. This affected also that how we could organize the teachers development programs, teacher education, and we needed to find new ways to provide these courses. We faced several challenges already when we organized online courses. So to work in a digital learning environment is not always easy. So you must look for those environments which are very accessible, and the use of them is very simple, and you must be aware that what it requires, what kind of preparation required from the user to be able to focus on the learning content and not only the mechanics or the usage of the system itself. And of course, many of these programs, like this webinar too, is require from the participants to understand English. It's also required to have a good internet connection. This is also need to be kept in mind. And in this case of the online learning, it's probably much more harder, and in some cases, it's even impossible to find out the different knowledge level and different content knowledge of the participants. So you must find your ways to take all of these into account. But you can, of course, be preventive, and you can try to go forth to when you are organizing these events. So it can always help to give orientation before the course is started. You will also need a high degree of flexibility. You also need to provide the detailed instructions to the learning management system that the participants are supposed to use. And you can also put a little bit more emphasis on the content development, because you won't be always near, you won't be always at hand to clarify every single details for the participants. But as you can see also in these pictures, that even hands-on activity is not even impossible to motivate, to induce also through technology in this kind of online connection. But how the technological environment can support the creative engagement, and how to do STEAM together while we are being out of touch. These are the main questions which came, for example, to my mind before I was supposed to make my first online STEAM session when the pandemic started. But my colleagues in this example in Indonesia were very well prepared, and they had already an online hybrid classroom provided, which means that there were these arrangements in the room, that there was a wide screen and also mid-size screens on the sides. So they made sure that participants from every directions could see the online instructor. And this also helped a lot to various settings in the room. So participants could sit around the table, or they could have more in the frontal arrangement. So various options became possible. Also, the local facilitators were also very active in the program, and also the participants had enough space between the seats and between the tables, and there were also moving facilitators who were moving inside the room, and there are also cameramen who are moving in the room to provide different angles, different settings with a wireless microphone, for example. And there is also a place for a fixed camera in the space. And when you take a look at the arrangement, the doors are also located on that way that when someone is coming in or going out, that doesn't really disturb the focus and the concentration to the learning process. So you can see that how this setting made possible even to make this kind of geometric construction. This was made of newspaper. This is called a geodesic dome in mathematics and in science and in engineering. So even this kind of activities were possible. And Actually, you can read in the article in the FreeED Vision book that how this whole process took place and how the different equipment and different devices for streaming and how the technical stuff helped to realize these events. So when we were thinking about the different technologies what been implemented in these classes, we made distinction between hard and soft technologies. When we say hard technologies, these are the desktop computers, the monitors, the sound system, and the various hands-on tools like paper, sticks, whatever you would need for the creative activity in the physical space. But you also need to think about the online and digital tools. That's what we are calling soft technologies, like learning apps or Google Forms, Google Classroom as an environment, or interactive quiz, or when it comes to maths education, for example, GeoGebra, or different kind of community activity applications and digital programs for having collaborative problem-solving processes, for example. And you can see also that the online teacher is also participating in the activity with different kind of camera settings. It's very useful if you can do the same process, the same hands-on process, what you are expected to take place in the room. So you can see some slides that how it took place, and also the response from the participants is very important. Also, these photos which were taken in the Spectrum Educational Center are very well telling these possibilities. But as we mentioned, this approach is even possible with children and with hybrid environment provided for education and learning opportunities, team learning opportunities for children. There is also a video included in the learning materials where you can see that how the International Day of Mathematics has been celebrated with the help of a very talented local facilitator, Terci Teréz Balázs in Remetea, in Gyergyó Remetelak in Romania. And it was a very great experience to meet with the school children through this technological opportunity in the hybrid way. With this, I would like to thanks for your attention. I wish you good luck for this course, and I hope you will enjoy also all the materials included in the course materials. And I really hope to meet you one day. If you have any questions or any requests, please don't hesitate to write me. This is my email address, christoph.fenyvesi@jyu.fi. I was really happy to meet you. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye.